I have several different systems that I'm using to create my budget this year. All of this is my budget. Alright, so this one is my on-the-go planner that I keep in my purse. This is also the portion of this video that I am on my 5th take. So we're going to go through this pretty quickly because it's making me mad at this point. I have flags in case I need them. I'm out and about making notes, doing whatever. I could meal plan. We'll see. I didn't stick with it last year. We'll see what happens this year. I have notepads for on the go ideas, things like that. A place to hold receipts in case I use my debit card. That will be explained later. My cover page. Got some more notes. Then we go to, here I've got my grocery list of things that I purchase most often. My staples, except for beer and wine, but I just put it on there. Then in January, I'm basically just tracking my pay dates, and then I'll have this in here to track any of my debit card swipes that I make, because I'm trying to go to an all-cash, zero-based budget this year. Alright, so this is my main budget planner. Okay, this used to be my home planner that sat in my craft room and got no use. But I punched holes in these and I put these up here. Again, I always like to have something where I can write notes because that's one of my biggest issues I found with 2021 is that my mind was just so cluttered. And the biggest thing I did for myself was to get that Yorkie notebook where I could just go and get it all out of my head and keep doing what I'm doing. So I'm having these in every single planner that I've got. I have a couple of envelopes in here in case I need to store receipts or anything like that. Now, a lot of websites and a lot of budget planners have various trackers for bills, for bi-weekly paychecks, for weeks. I mean, you can find hundreds and hundreds and thousands of YouTube videos, Etsy shops, blog posts where they're offering, you know, budget worksheets. The thing that just blows my mind is they're like, for $15.99, you can have a budget workbook. Well, for me, that doesn't work because I'm not trying to spend to save. Okay? That's not logical to me. And that's something I have to get away from because in the past, this is why I've got 12 planners, because I got sucked into the hyper-consumerism of these corporations. Now, I totally understand a small business owner and all of that, selling, you know, something like this. You know, you can download it for $1 and use it as many times as you want. I totally get that, but that was not what my goal was. My goal was to create a system that would work for me, but I wasn't willing to put the money into it because that's what I'm trying to get away from. Oh, I need to do this, so I've got to pay. Well, I've got a budget, so I've got to pay to budget. No, I don't. So I scoured the internet and I found plenty of free templates out there that you can print. As you see, I like color. So I just found one with color. And I was probably up until 2 o'clock last night watching various budgeting videos, you know, trying to figure out which way would work best for me. I don't even know if this way is going to be best for me, but it was the most logical for my personal goals. And so this is the system that I'm going with. My main problem with spending or with budgeting is discipline. Ooh, I need. But I've got $20 in my savings, so I could just, get it. That's not the point of having a savings. The point of a savings is to save. You can take out of it, of course. But it shouldn't be for that Santa because he's holding a gingerbread cookie, It should be for, I got a nail in my tire, I've got to replace it. That's in my mind. Now, I am going to have a savings for fun, for vacations, for Christmas, things like that. But my bank savings is going to be for emergencies where I can transfer that money and use my debit card and pay for a new tire. All right, so let me explain what we've got first. I have listed out all of my regular bills that I have to pay every month, and I have all of my debts in here as well. Of course I have to pay those every month, but those will be paid differently because my goal is to pay off my debt. All right, so on the 1st, my house bill is due, as well as my HOA dues. I have not written in any of my amounts because I'm not really ready to share what my personal finances look like. I'm just going to show you the basic setup. Here we have a cute little colored dot for every month of 2022. And when I go in on the 1st and they take my payment, check. Okay? When I've got all of these set up for automatic payment. And when they take that automatic payment, I'm going to check it off each month. And that way I can say, did I pay that bill? Yes, I did. And even though, I know it's getting paid, it's always a good idea to double check on your bank, online, or statement, or however you do it, to make sure they took that payment, that they took the correct amount, and that they didn't double charge you. Everybody makes mistakes. I make mistakes. The bank makes mistakes. The creditor makes mistakes. It's up to you to make sure that you know where your money is going. Because if you don't, you've got more money than you know what to do with. And you don't need to budget. All right, so then I decided in watching these videos, a lot of the people would have like an expense tracker. Let's see if I have any in here. They would have an expense tracker like this. They would write the amount, and every dollar that of their income that was going out, whether it was through cash, whether it was through card, whether it was through online bill pay, they would write every single thing down, even though we have it here, right? Even though we have it in our bank, even though we have it multiple places. If you're a visual learner, this is a great way. But they would highlight every, house was red and pet was blue and electric was yellow. My brain doesn't work like that with all those colors. I like colors, but it has to be neat. And to me, highlighting in different colors, it's too chaotic for my brain. I know, I'm weird. So, one of the things I do when I study for school, especially when I had math, and I've still got that binder or notebook somewhere in this house, I would take all of the notes that I would take in class and I would bring them home and I would do it in different colors, because changing that pen and changing the color, they say, helps you to memorize. Me, I did it because I like color. And I was doing anything I could do to make math fun. This, budgeting, is the same way. It's not fun, but we need to figure out how to make it fun. So instead of highlighting, I'm going to write home and HOA in red, Burke in black, which is a credit card, water in this blue, car, and all these different colors. Okay? And that way, when I go over to my expense tracker, I'll see all of my different colors. And there is one more thing that I want to print out. I haven't found it yet, but it's a sheet that says, where did my money go? And I can reference back to this expense tracker and say, okay, I paid this dollar in HOA and home fees. That's a 10% of my income, you know, whatever. And that will help me to see where all of my money is going, which I'm hoping this year it's only towards paying off debt, but you know, things come up. So, where flowers bloom, so does hope. Each month, again, it's not going to be decorative, it's going to be functional. This is the most decorative you will see. I haven't even decided if I'm going to go through and put my amounts here, because I'm going to have them listed here. And actually things like Dominion and my gas, I will probably, and my water, I don't even know if I'll fill them in because they will be variable. They will vary from month to month. So I may leave those blank and just fill those in over here. My water is paid every other month. So on the 5th of January, and March, I have a water bill. Okay, so I went through and I've marked all of my paydays. I've marked when this credit card is due, my car payment is due, my cable TV, my Dominion electric. I have a medical bill to the rheumatologist, which is $6 for blood work. I think I have another bill. See, this is the problem. I think I have another bill from them, and I don't know where I've placed it because I don't see it in my bill holder. Anyway, you know, water, couple of credit cards are due, and the gas bill is due on that day. My Sirius XM and a credit card. So I went through, and each month I just marked what's due. This is a pop-up. It's property tax. It's going to be $367 for the year. So I know I need to save for that for February 7th. March, I just got my bills there and my paydays. April. So I just went through and did that last night. Okay. After that, I have a zero-based budget worksheet. And this is what I was talking about earlier. This is why I'm going to have this only to track any expenses that would come out of my checking that should be on my cash system. I'm going to put it here, okay? And I'm going to explain all of this. So this is where these two go together. I will put my income here. I will put, this says big bills, but I'm going to put like my set bills here. I will probably change this and put, you know, set bills. Here I will put variable bills. Here I will probably put cash envelopes. Not sure what I will put here, and then here I will put savings. So the whole point of this is to take all of your income and all of your outgoing cash, like say you make $500 in a paycheck. You would put $500 here, and then between all of these different areas that you want your money to go to, you would allocate a certain amount to go to each one of these until you reach zero. Okay? And you really do have money, but it's all going somewhere. So you don't have that $20 where you can say, well, I can just transfer it, because no, I want to see zero because I'm not spending. I'm putting money in these cash envelopes for that. Ooh, I want that. And if I'm out of cash, I don't get it. So that's where I got this. I got this off of Amazon. I will link this below. I think I paid under $10 for it because, again, I'm trying to budget. I'm not trying to spend a lot of money, but I did not have anything for this. So I want to go to the cash envelope system. Again, I went to a website. This is vertex42.com. And I printed these out for free. And I have 12 of them, but right now I only have 11 because I dropped one. They're clear. Can't find it. Okay? So let's go through this. All right. So I bought this off of Amazon. And I paid under $10 for it. This is the only thing I purchased. Everything else I found for free. All of these budget worksheets. There's a great one called vertex42.com, and you can actually go on there and type in your income and your outgoing and your debt, and you can you put in the APR, the annual percentage rate for each of your debts, and you can calculate your payoff by snowball, which means you start with your smallest debt. You put, everything you can towards that. Once you pay that off, what you would pay towards that goes to your next date, and you just keep pouring into that while your next debt, while you're making minimum payments on all your other debts. You're pouring everything the most into here, paying that one off. Then you got a bigger amount. You're bringing it over to your next debt. Instead of making that minimum, you're putting more onto that, and that way, you're paying off your debt. I personally like an avalanche method, which is paying them off from the highest percentage rate to the lowest percentage rate, because in the end you're going to pay a heck of a lot more in percentage rate if you do it by your balances. If you have a credit card with a 23% APR and you owe, $1,000, and then you have a credit card with a 9.9% APR and you owe, $1,700, you're better off paying this one with the higher percentage rate off faster, because that higher APR, 23% of $1,000, that's $230. Okay, 10% of $1,700 is like $170. So do the math, okay? So I prefer an avalanche method. It's a more aggressive method, but it's also going to keep me from, ooh, I want, ooh, I need. It's going to make me think, I want to pay off my debt. I have to. This has to stop. And while my debt is not, $50,000, $25,000, it's nothing great by any means, it stresses me out. Even to have a couple $1,000, $5,000, $7,000, whatever I may have, it stresses me out because I know a lot of it was just impulse. And it's just ridiculous, and it's got to stop. And to be honest, I struggled financially for many, many, many years. And I remember going to the grocery store where they had 10 items for $10. I could buy, 10 items for the next 2 weeks or a month or whatever I needed. Spaghetti noodles, milk, bread, and they each costed $1. And, I'd walk up and down the aisles and I'd say, man, I can't wait till I go to the grocery store and I can just get something because I want it, because I'd see Oreo cookies or, coffee creamers or a special, just stuff that I wanted. And I think that's a lot of my problem with my spending, is I was held back for so many years from being able to have one little want that now I'm like, I have to have it because I want it. Yeah. So we had fun with that. That was fun. Now it's time to rein it in. So I got this off of Amazon. It was less than $10. It was the only thing I spent money on to budget with, but I couldn't figure out how to make one and make it, something that I could take with me, because this will also be in my purse. And this is going to be my cash envelope system. So instead of going to a store and saying, oh, I'd love to have that shirt, and swiping my debit card and then just putting it into my checkbook balance and saying, oh, well, that's $7 less that I have this month, I am going to have cash in here. And if I have, $5 and the shirt costs $7, I don't get that shirt because I don't have the cash for it. And I'm really hoping this system works for me. So it's worth a try, right? It's up to me to make it work. So what I've done is this has 12 envelopes. I only have 11 in here because they're clear, and I dropped one and I can't see it. It's somewhere on one of my floors and I don't know where that is. So yeah, it's a sad situation. So the only thing that will come out of my checking account are my bills, which would be, let me figure out which planner that's in. The only thing coming out of my checking account are my bill and debt payments. So for my house, my credit cards, water, utilities, credit cards. This is Sirius radio, which I had an introductory for $6, and I got it because I wanted to be able to listen to the news. There's nothing to hear. That's going away. It's only $6. See, there we go. That's how I get in trouble. I need to just cancel it. But I'm, battling right now. So what I'm going to do, okay? Say I have a $500 check. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say my income is $500. Towards my big bills, I've got $300. Towards my variable bills, I have another $100, so that leaves me $100 to put into my cash stuffing envelopes. Now, if I have 10 envelopes, that's $10 in each envelope. That means I have a starting balance of $10 to spend on food, $10 to spend on pets, $10 for car gas. These are all things that will be paid for in cash. $10 for fun. This simply means if I want to go somewhere to a movie or something like that that's out of the ordinary, that will go in there. Home maintenance. That will be to buy air filters, different things like that that I need to do to maintain my home. Entertainment will be, well, actually fun will probably be state fair, things like that. Entertainment would probably be, dining out, going to the movies. If I, decide to rent a movie or just whatever. Go to a concert, things like that. I want to save for a vacation. I need to save for car maintenance. Not that I've had to have any, but should that ever happen where I get a nail in my tire, I've got to have some money. Clothing. If I want a $15 shirt and all I've got is a $10, I don't get the shirt. I can come back for it when I have it. Miscellaneous will just be for any other category that I haven't thought of. Or that doesn't really fit in these categories. So I've got that one. And then I've got Christmas. So miscellaneous could be birthdays. Miscellaneous could be, a baby shower, whatever doesn't fit into these other categories. That will be miscellaneous. And then this one will be Christmas. Of course, I will have my banking account savings, and that will be for major emergency funds. Like, you know, I would like to get at least a $5,000 buffer in there in case my water heater goes, or, you know, my transmission goes in my car and I have to put, you know, $350 into it, or, you know, just whatever. So that is my budget. I want to take all of my income and divide it up to the various areas that I have set up. And again, if I'm out and, you know, I have an extra $30 in my checking account and I say, you know, I do want that shirt for $15, I don't have the cash, but what I'll do is I'll take that $10 that I have and I'll give it to them and then pay the $5 on my debit, and then make a note that I need to pay myself that $5 before I put the remaining money into my envelope. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this video of my 2022 planner lineup. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. It really helps my channel to grow. Don't forget, tell your friends and family to join my channel here at Leslie's Living Room. I would love to have you all as part of my family, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye, everyone.